Welcome to Truth Be Told About Going Wild. I'm your host, Robert Hensley, and this is the podcast inspired by the principles of personal rewilding. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the new scientific evidence that is available, which really solidifies the idea of how beneficial and necessary the human connection to the natural world really is. So we know that when we are outside, when we're in the forest, when we're walking in a park, when we're sitting on the beach, that we have decreased stress levels, decreased production of cortisol, the stress hormone, our heart rates, our blood pressure, everything drops, right? Sense of anxiety. If you have ADHD or PTSD, a lot of those symptoms abate when we are experiencing or connecting with nature. But now science is telling us that's not a but. Not a but. I said but I don't mean but, right? Because the word but negates everything before it. And we now know through scientific research that those same benefits, although maybe not as prevalent, can be had simply by closing our eyes and thinking about, visualizing those spaces, those natural spaces that we enjoy, right? So we do know that previous research showed that whether we were actually outside or even if we were sitting inside and looking at an actual picture, a photograph of a beautiful nature scene, that we were getting very similar results. Now we're being told that we don't even really need to see the photograph. If you just envision it in your mind, it doesn't even have to be a real place, a real forest. As long as you are thinking about and visualizing a connection to trees, the canopy, the undergrowth, this idea of moving through a natural space, even if it's something that you've made up in your mind, has very similar results to actually being outside. So we know that there, in the Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku and forest bathing, right? This whole idea of mindfully moving through a natural space, being observant, being present, taking in that experience, right, is so beneficial, right, that it is now a form of medicine in the East, right? People are being prescribed time outside. But now here in the West, and of course, we do things a little different here, right? In the West, in Europe, in the United States, people tend to have so many other demands on their time. We prioritize things differently than they do in the East. And so for us, if someone were to say, let's forest bathe, but you don't have to go outside, right? People are like, okay, great, fantastic. I can do this at my desk. I don't have to, I can lay in bed and do this. I don't have to be out in the woods. I don't have to tromp around in nature. Great, fantastic. Well, that's part of what an indoor an indoor forest bath would be, right? Is this idea of visualizing, putting ourselves there in our mind. Now, again, the benefits aren't as prevalent, but they're there, right? So this idea of regular indoor forest bathing can have the same beneficial effects as going outside and being there in person. And this new science is really exciting because, if you're like me, if you're living in the Northeast, if you're sitting inside like I am now, looking out the window at it snowing, right? You know that potentially weather can hinder our opportunities for actually stepping out our door and connecting with the natural world. And in those times, wouldn't it be great if we could connect, if we could access the beneficial parts of that relationship with nature from the comfort and warmth of our houses. And now we know we can. So this is a really great thing. And I wanted to share that with you today, that although I highly suggest spending as much time outside and connecting with the natural world in a physical way, that we can also receive the benefits of that relationship in a more visual, imaginary, mental way as well, and still feel the effects. So that's it for me for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, there are 3 opportunities each week for new content from the Truth Be Told family of podcasts on the Club Paranormal channel on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to know what I'm doing with personal rewilding, please feel free to visit my website. That is www.rh, Nature Reconnect, altogether, rhnaturereconnect.com. And you can also join my personal Rewilding with Robert Hensley community on Patreon. Go to patreon.com and search Personal Rewilding with Robert Hensley. There are 2 tiers there. You can join for free, or you can go a little deeper and pay for the Go Wild membership there and get more exclusive content and things. Yes, until next time.